Yeah, man.
Hello, my name is Miguel, and today I'm gonna make for you pork pepper stir fry. Alright, so you're gonna need some coconut oil for frying, deep fry, some soy sauce, light soy sauce, about 4 chili pepper, dried chili pepper, a carrot, stalk of scallion, couple onions, piece of ginger, 2 paprika or sweet pepper. You're gonna need some cornstarch, and about 4 garlic cloves, orange juice, and pork. Try and get a thin slice so we can cut the little strips. Alright. Normally it's best to prepare the vegetables first, but because I want to get marinating, I want to marinate this pork strips ahead of time, so I'm just gonna prepare it now. Alright, so just to get the sauce ready, measure and add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, alright, normally I would use cooking wine, sherry, but I don't think it's wise to add any alcohol to pork. So squeeze, measure and add 2 tablespoons of orange juice. You can use orange juice from the, freshly squeezed orange juice from the container. Alright. So now just kind of mix out the starch with orange juice smooth. Mix it smooth. Alright, so now this is my pork, piece of pork that I bought. So just do as you see me doing. Just if it's a thick slice, all you have to do is just get to the side and trim strips as tall as your finger. And if it has a little fat in it, it's okay. Alright, I'm not gonna use the skin. You see, I see them selling the skin, pork skin in the supermarket all by itself lately. So I guess they stewing pork skin now. So you can put this in the fridge and cut it up and make some stew pork skin later. So go through patiently and just Use a sharp knife and cut strips as tall as your finger and as thin as you can get it. And it don't have to be all lean. You can leave some of the fat on it. Yeah, you can leave some of the fat on it. Alright, this is a piece of bone now, so I'm just trimming right around the bone. Alright, so that's what you want. Some nice little strips like this. Alright, so that's what you want. Alright, I had to wash my hands so I can handle the bowl and the spoon. Alright, so let's go through and coat the pork strips thoroughly. Alright, visit JamaicaDinners.com for the recipe because I might not mention everything. Alright, so just put this aside for later. Cover it and put it aside. You can allow it to marinate at least 10 minutes, but up to 6 hours, 3 hours you keep there. Put it in the refrigerator, trimming the pork's fat. Alright, so now you can use dried chili pepper. Just cut the stems off, or you can get it shredded. But just do as you see me doing. Cut it in strips and then shred it. Use a food scissors and cut each chili pepper in strips, and then hold all the chili peppers together and then shred it fine. Alright, let's put this aside for later. Alright, now the carrot. Just use a sharp knife and kind of scrape it, scrape off the surface of the carrot. And then trim each end. As for the garlic, just remove the leaves. And if you see any brown spots or anything spoiling, trim that off. Like this. Just go through patiently. Preparation is the most important part, is one of the most important parts of cooking. As for the black pepper, as for the paprika, sweet pepper, just cut the stem off and remove the seeds. You can use any color. Let me give you a tip, guys. Third world people, third world country, this is for you. First world country, you can afford to buy the paprika. Alright, as for the onion, just remove this. Just cut the each end off and remove the leaf. Alright, paprika or sweet pepper is cheaper than paprika, I think. Sweet pepper, however, sweet pepper sometimes comes in different colors. So if you don't want to buy the expensive paprika, you can buy the sweet pepper but buy it mixed. Like you see my two sweet pepper, one is green and one is mixed. And I pay the same price. Alright, so once you trim and prepare the vegetable, I was gonna rinse, but I just remember I need a piece of ginger, so cut a piece of ginger off your thumb and remove the skin, the scrape off the skin. And I'm gonna use a stalk of scallion, so cut the root end off and cut the tip off and remove thyme. Alright, so rinse the vegetable properly under running water, and maybe you can add a tip of white vinegar if it's, you know, these are not really dirty still, so just rinse them off with running water, fresh running water. Alright, so now the garlic, shred the garlic to puree. Just use a shredder as you see me do, or if you don't have a shredder, you can put them in a clean bag, get something hard and hit it and crushing it, or you can use a knife and crush it. At the end of the day, you want them to be crushed, not chopped finely. Crush it. I believe that if you crush the garlic, it melts in the food better than if you chop it. If you chop it, something you bite a piece of garlic in the meal, and I don't think that's nice. Alright, as for the ginger now, you just take the piece of ginger and shred it as well to puree. Alright, so I'm just going to put these together in one plate. Keep your ingredients separate. Alright, put this aside for later. Now, this is our pork strips marinating. It's been marinating for some time now, say about an hour, but you marinate it at least 10 minutes. Excuse my black bag if it's offensive, if it's offensive to some. It's a clean bag. I just use it to cover the container. I don't want to dirty up a dish or anything, so I just use the bag and then I just throw the bag out as soon as I'm finished. It's clean. It's a clean bag. It's a kind of bag that we use as grocery bag in Jamaica. It's not garbage bag. It's grocery bags, but we use them as garbage bag too. So, all right. So this is Scotch bonnet pepper. I'm just gonna add it for flavoring. It's optional as well. It's optional. Alright, now near to start cooking, we're going to start trimming and chopping our vegetables. Alright, so what I like to do, I just take a carrot, a small carrot like this, I cut it in two. Then I just cut little strips, but big strips. And then I put the flat piece down on the chopping board, so that when I cut the little strips now, it won't turn and put my finger at risk to cut off. So just do as you see me do, and it's easier. So see, if you if it's round like this and you cut it, it can slip and put your finger at risk for cutting, and nobody wants a cut, not even a scratch alike. Alright, so Do as you saw me do. Do as you saw me did. And cut carrot sticks. Now, as for the sweet pepper or the paprika, just cut it in half. Put the outer part of the paprika on the chopping board and cut little strips, as you see me doing. And then you do the same thing for the mixed color, my mixed color sweet pepper. Alright, this is me adding a little scallion. Scallion. Alright, so you take your scallion and then dice it fine. Do as you see me do. Keep the vegetables separate. And note, it's best to prepare the vegetable close to cooking. Alright, the onion, if it's a small onion, you just cut it in half. If it's a medium to large onion, cut it in quarters. Do as you see me doing. Once you do that, just take the leaves apart. Like this. Alright, note, none of these vegetables or any of these vegetables, none of these vegetables need to be cooked long or cooked any at all. You're just gonna stir fry and then finish. Watch, you're gonna see what I do. Alright, now put to heat. I didn't say, but you can roast sesame seeds, about a teaspoon or a tablespoon of sesame seeds. Roast it on low heat for 5 minutes. Now I'm using a big saucepan. I don't have a wok. Alright, so just put the stove gauge on 4 and just allow the pot to get dry. Alright, excuse me, I said I don't have a wok, but I'm going to show you how I use this saucepan as a wok. Alright, so once after a minute or so and the pot is hot, about a minute, between 3 minutes, add oil. Add about 2 tablespoons, no, not 2 tablespoons, 2 cups, sorry, 2 cups, at least 2 cups, or a cup and a half. You just want enough to deep fry. This is my coconut oil. It's in solid right now. Alright, so just allow the oil to get hot for about 4 minutes or so. The stove gauge is on 4 medium low. Alright, so this is pork strips. It's been marinating for about an hour. Alright, so once you see the heating oil starts to smoke, it's ready. Alright, so carefully add the marinated pork strips, and immediately after that use a spoon and kind of stir it in for about 30 seconds or so, just to keep the pieces up, just to keep the pieces separate and to kind of prevent the stick, kind of sticking like. This is deep fry, and we're going to remove most of the oil, about 98% of the oil. Alright, so after that you just allow it. Alright, 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, the stove gauge is on 4, medium low. You just give your pork strips that's frying in the heating oil a couple stir, a few stirs. Just kind of flip the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. Alright, 4 minutes. It's been 4 minutes. Just frying away. I only stirred it once. Well, really, twice. This is the third time. Alright, so usually pork is not as tough as beef, so it shouldn't take that long to cook. 4 minutes should be good enough. But what I would recommend you do is take one out, and kind of taste it. Cut a piece. What I'm doing behind the scenes is cutting it, but I thought it was in frame, but it wasn't. So you cut a piece and chew it. If it's chewable and tenderized to your liking, then it's finished. Pork shouldn't take long to cook, so it should take, this took between 5 minutes to deep fry. Alright, so we gotta do this part fast. So get a spoon that scoops and remove the oil. We're going to remove about 95% of this oil. Pork fat probably gave me some more oil that I can use and cook something else and give something else the pork flavor. I know this section is not Jamaican food per se. Alright, so once you remove most of the oil, leave at least 3 tablespoons or so, and you turn off the stove within the time. So now you turn the stove back on low, and then you add the shredded pepper, the shredded chili pepper, the shredded garlic and ginger, as well the scotch bonnet, half the scotch bonnet pepper. The scotch bonnet pepper is for flavoring. Alright, so what I like to do is to put the cooked pork strips on one side, and then I add the shredded chili pepper, onion, garlic and so forth, and just allow it to saute until you start to smell the aroma hitting you in the face, and then it kind of saute and cook somewhat. Just allow it to saute about 30 seconds, 30 between 40 seconds, but don't allow it to burn. Alright, so that's about 40 seconds or so. You see, the stove gauge is on low right now, so it's not cooking fast. We're gonna get ready to stir fry, and while stir frying, that's when I'll turn the stove up. Alright, so this looks like it took about a minute there about. So once those seasonings are tenderized somewhat, you just stir it in the cooked pork strips. Alright, now would be a good time to turn the stove up. Put the stove's gauge on 4 is medium low. so I'm now adding the chopped or diced scallion. If you don't have scallion, you can use diced or chopped. Oh, I'm using onion already. Anyway, just kind of saute the scallion for about 30 seconds or so. Add a tablespoon of chili bean sauce. Add a tablespoon of chili bean sauce. And then add a teaspoon of chili in oil. And then you just stir that in, stir that in. Then right after that you add the chopped carrot and onion. Alright, so what I like to do to pretend like I'm using a wok, I just lift the pot up and use the edge of the pot onto the flame. That way I can get a good, I can stir it like I'm using a wok. You see? See what I'm doing? The aroma is awesome. Alright. It's not necessary, but let's add a pinch of salt. Because all these sauce has, I'm sure they have kind of salty flavor in it already. Alright, so that's it. Finished. Alright, and at the end, you just add your sweet pepper. Just sliced sweet pepper or chopped. No, sliced sweet pepper or paprika. And then stir it in thoroughly. And that's it. Finish. Alright, so this took 7 minutes or so to stir in and fry. This is me showing you with a close-up. Alright, so finish and cover it until you're ready to serve. It's best served now. Alright, so just before you serve, just give your pot a couple stir. Just kind of make all the juice, coat all the vegetable. Whatever, I'm talking foolishness. Just make a couple stir. And then use a spoon that scoops and just scoop out some of this pork pepper stir fry on your better rice. So this is pork pepper stir fry. Visit JamaicaDinners.com for the recipe. Subscribe, like, share, and you should try cooking it for yourself. Alright, so this is pork pepper stir fry with carrots. Alright, now let's taste this thing. If it's new, it's by me, JamaicaDinners.com. If it's not new, well, there you go. This is how I cook it. I'm just showing you how tender the pork is. I really did this video for you pork lovers because I know a lot of you love pork and you're gonna enjoy it. You see, JamaicaDinners.com is not about me per se. It's about you. It's about you wanting to learn something or know how to do something. Yes, I might give my opinions on how to cook healthy, but that's my limit. That's how far I'll go. I won't tell you what not to eat and what to eat. But I'll recommend healthy cooking. Alright, the chili pepper is spicy just right in it. It's just nice. The orange just gave it a nice, just a little teeny bit tangy flavor, along with the ginger, the onions, crunchy and sweet a little bit. Although I use a little bit of salt, I didn't have to. Sea salt, preferably if you're using salt. The sweet pepper is crunchy and full of enzymes. We didn't cook it out and kill it. The rice is flaky. Just kidding, it's parboiled. The pork is tenderized and eat just fine. It didn't take long to cook at all. It's just right. We here on this side like our meat cooked properly. So that's why I didn't stir fry it per se. I had to deep fry it and make sure that it's cooked properly. Like I said, the ginger had a nice flavor to it. The scallion you didn't even realize that scallion is in it, but it's unique, it's different. Alright, this is how the piece of pork looks. It's close to fried bacon, but it's not. Like I said, you could have add roast sesame seed at the end. This is a good way to add sesame seed to your diet. The sauce makes great gravy. It makes for good gravy. I don't even have to add gravy to it. Alright. Good night. Yeah, man!